These are the 3 best decks for Arena 10, Hog Mountain, Arena 11, Electro Valley, and for Arena 12, Spooky Town? Spooky Place? Ooh, so spooky. Boom! Into deck numero 1 of Trey's. Trey's decks in total. This is the first deck, and the first deck that we got today is this P.E.K.K.A Balloon Freeze deck. This deck is a deck I actually just made recently, and it's super, super fun. All 3 of these decks, I know people are going to be like,
But Cash, how can there be 3 best decks?
that doesn't make sense. There's only one best deck. Well, the way I'm looking at it as, you know, in Pokemon, well, you got Squirtle, you got Bulbasaur, you got Charmander. They're all good. They're all great. One's better than the other. But everybody likes their own unique one. I'm definitely Team Squirtle, so shout out to the Squirtle people out there. And if you're a Squirtle person as well, let's go. Charmander, Big Poo Poo. And I think all these 3 decks are really, really good, but they're just different. And that they're different for different play styles. I'm going to explain. This one's more of like a counter push deck. And it's very... Ooh. We got a witch. We got level 9s? What the heck? Uh-oh, a level 9 witch. This guy, Crystal Ball, is looking tick. Alright, let's see what happens next. That's not good. Oh, wizard, don't die on me. My wizard's level 7. How? I can't compete. So what I'm trying to say is this deck is, let's say this one's the Bulbasaur deck. This is the Bulbasaur deck, and this deck is all about counter pushes. You saw it right there. We defended, and then we go in with the balloon. We have units that are still alive, and it looks like we just won with 1 push. And let's say if he does play something right now, we can freeze. We can, like, we don't have to, but we could. We have the option to freeze. Tower's done. We can zap this minion horde. The tower's going to finish it off. And just like that, we already won the game. The deck works really, really well, but remember to be patient with this deck. I know a lot of people say,
Hey, Cash, I played one of your decks and I lost all my games. I lost every single game. 10 games, I lost every single one.
that happens. It really happens with a new deck. It maybe takes a couple of games to get used to it, but for everybody watching, did he quit? He quit? Oh my gosh. Wow, that was, wow, I guess this deck did better than I thought. Good combo. Whoa! He played Possum on me! You just played, why'd he do that? Why'd you do that, big guy? He played the good old Possum, thinking that he's dead. I go in, overcommit, and boom! He beats me. But nah, I'm not falling for it. Not falling for the shenanigans. I actually don't even know what to play. Uh-oh. Why am I nervous? Is anybody else nervous? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Baby Dragon was not where it was supposed to be. Oh, shoot. And there's a Mega Knight now, or a Mega Knight. Oh, shoot. Please, P.E.K.K.A, get down in time. Come on, P.E.K.K.A, I need you. Let's go. Easiest game of my life. Okay, Crystal Ball, you almost got me with the faking yourself out. But look at this. Defense. Defense is huge. Remember to use your Tornado to combo with your Baby Dragon, with your P.E.K.K.A, with your Wizard. Really, really good. You can use your Tornado to pull units into, range units into your P.E.K.K.A. So I know this deck doesn't have a big spell, but you could use, if there's a Witch or a Magic Archer, you can use your Tornado, pull it in. It works. This deck, you saw it there, 1 push, you win the game. But just remember to be patient, and let's get into deck number 2. Let's call it Charmander deck. Before we get to deck number 2, the Charmander deck, I want to talk to you guys about something really important, something I probably should have talked about in the first arena video for this, and that is what to use your coins on. Coins are a very valuable resource in Clash Royale, so making sure that you use them effectively, efficiently, especially at the beginning of the game, is very important. So what are you going to use these coins on? Well, you're not going to use them in the shop. Don't use them in the shop. It's not worth it. The best thing to do with your coins at the beginning of the game is to upgrade your cards. Upgrading your cards will give you EXP, and with this EXP, if you get to level 8, you unlock challenges, and in these challenges, you get so much good rewards if you win all the challenges, but even winning 1 or 2 games, you get some really 1,000 gold, 1,500 gold just for winning a game. That's Stonk City. And when you're leveling up your cards, make sure you level up your lower cards first. So 1 to 2 over 7 to 8, just because you get more XP per gold that way, and it's a little bit more efficient.
Stonks.
Bingo! Welcome to deck number 2, also known as the Charmander deck, and this deck is different.
Really?
It's different than the other decks. The last deck that we showcased was more of a counter-punch deck where you have a really solid defense with your Wizard, your P.E.K.K.A, you counter-push with the balloon, you freeze anything, it's just stonks. Well, this deck's a little different. This deck is, ooh, a little King Tower activation. Don't mind if I do. This deck is all about baiting out your opponent's spells. It's overwhelming your opponent with swarm units, so the skeleton army, the bomber, the goblin barrel, the goblin huts, overwhelming your opponent and winning that way. It's a strategy that a lot of people use in Clash Royale even today, and a lot of the best decks in Clash Royale utilize this mechanic, this archetype, so you can too. This is a very, very solid deck. Your 2 win conditions are the goblin barrel and the hog rider, and right now, just playing slow, like I said, always be patient. Remember to be patient. Just wait till we get that good defense. Maybe his opponent uses one of his splash units or a spell, and we just have a very, very good counter push. Or right now, this is hard because I kind of want to go in for the love of the game. For the love of the game. Also, if you're going Goblin Barrel Hog Rider, make sure you play your Goblin Barrel first and then your Hog Rider, just because it's optimal time placement for, I guess, it's optimal time placement where right when the Hog Rider is tanking for the Goblin Barrel, ooh, Skeleton Army at the bridge. Interesting play, Butt Demolisher. What? What is this guy's name? 10 out of 10. I love it. I love it. And this deck also has a lot of great combinations with the Tornado itself. The Death Bomb of the Giant Skeleton, and maybe we'll do it here if there's a big push, where you can use the Giant Skeleton on defense, and you can actually use the Tornado to pull everything into... What was the Goblin Barrel? What was that? You can use the Giant Skeleton's Death Bomb and the Tornado and just eliminate big pushes. Almost like a big spell in this deck. And it's really, really solid. Let's go with another Goblin Barrel he already used. Oh, shoot! Bomber's going to be able to deal with all that Skeleton Army. And right now, are we going to do it? Oh, no. Did I even need to? Boom! It worked! That's the pro plays, baby! It wasn't the most stonks, but you know what? If there was more units there, you do that, and you laugh, and it's just GG's in the chat. And, yeah, we won. Yeah, we won. This is the easiest matchup. It doesn't look like this guy has a lot of splash units, doesn't have a lot of spells, so we can just overwhelm the opponent, and we'll probably just win the game. I kind of want to go with a bomber here, just because I assume he's going to go Skeleton Army, and now, if he goes, ooh, great fireball value, but now, right when this Giant Skeleton dies, we can pull everything in. I think everything's already in there. Maybe we didn't have to do that. Also, if the Giant Skeleton gets on tower, it's also very, very valuable. What is with all these Don't play stuff at the bridge, guys. If you don't know what to do, this is a good play as well. Just play something at the back. You don't have to play stuff at the bridge. Mini P.E.K.K.A at the bridge. If your opponent doesn't have a lot of elixir and you have a really good timing, you know what? Sure, that could be a situation where you can do that. But for the most part, play something at the back. Play even your win condition. Throw a Goblin Barrel. Just play patient, guys. Listen to me. Play patient. And you'll most likely win the game. Just like this. Bye-bye, Butt Demolisher. I'll see you later, alligator. Oh, what a name. What a name. What a guy. Speaking of what awesome things are, this deck was good, but we got something better. We got my favorite, the Squirtle deck, and I'll showcase that in 1 second. Let's check out the third deck. Oh, baby. We just got a legendary king chest. This is the best deck. I think this is the best chest in Clash Royale. Am I missing one? This is one of the best chests in Clash Royale, so I thought might as well open it now and be in the YouTube video. Just maybe we can talk a little bit of the cards and maybe which cards you should pick. Wild card, also really, really good. Make sure you use your wild cards. They are very, very good if you want to max out one deck and max it out as quickly as possible. But you got to make sure... what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Did we get a legendary? Or is this a wild card legendary? Wild card legendary? Okay, wild card. Does that mean we get a wild card? Do we get a wild card and a legendary? Do we technically get 2 legendaries in this? That's insane. Magic Archer. Oh my gosh, that's one of the best legendaries you can get. Magic Archer is really, really, really annoying, especially when it's over level. It's really good on defense. It combos really, really well in fireball bait decks. And overall, it's a really annoying card. You can swap the Magic Archer in with the... I'll talk more about what you can do. Swap the legendary cards that you get in this legendary chest or in other chests that maybe you got lucky and got in a silver chest. I know some people have told me they got the Log and Sparky and silver chest. So if that does happen, what cards do you swap out for these decks for your legendaries? Because you definitely should. I'll go over that after probably deck number 3. For here, Hog Rider and Battle Healer. I use Hog Rider, so let's just keep using Hog Rider. Golem is stonks. I'm not saying anything. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say anything. And here, you know what? Arrows, I think, are a little bit better. Spells, just in Clash Royale. Prioritize spells. Spells can be used in pretty much every single deck. Earthquake used to be one of my favorite cards in the game. It used to be one of the strongest cards. Now it kind of sucks. Bomb Tower. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the team. Here, Cannon Cart or Barb Barrel. Cannon Cart used to be really, really strong. Now it's not as strong. It's still a really, really solid card, but Barb Barrel is a spell. It can be used in more decks, and I think at the beginning of the game, picking these spells you could potentially use in a lot of different decks down the line is really important. I want Sparky, Night Witch, or Mega Knight. That's not any of the three. Royal Ghost and the Log again? Oh, I wanted the Night Witch. Ah, it's all right. I think we're going with the Santa Claus looking dude. Welcome to the squad, Royal Ghost. And now let's get into deck number 3. Oh, I didn't see you there. Okay, that was stupid. Yo, welcome. This is the third deck, the third and final deck, and I know what you guys are saying.
Yo, Cash, isn't this deck a deck you already showed in the last YouTube video for Arena 7 to 9 best decks?
Yeah, it is. It is, because I don't know if it's the exact same. I don't know if I had lightning in it before, but this is the strongest deck going. If all these, for these arenas, the ones prior to this arena, and looking at even the arenas probably after this, if I had to pick a deck, it's this deck. This deck is so good. It's so versatile. A lot of the cards in this deck you unlock really early in Clash Royale, so you should be able to have them at relatively higher level than all the other cards, the cards that you unlock in Arena 9, Arena 10. This deck is insane, and right now, we had a really clean defense. He had to use so much elixir to defend our counter push, so we have a huge elixir lead right now. When you have a huge elixir lead with this deck, Golem at the back. All we have to do is Golem at the back. Now, if he goes in on the left lane or the right lane, we do have a cheap defense with the Skeleton Army, with the Bomber. But right now, we already won the game. This is how good this deck is. I'm going to use this deck, probably, I might make a couple of changes with it. Oh, no, I forgot the overlay. It's not right.
Oh gosh!
Rip, 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 the drippity, drippity, drip. Disrespecting the best deck in Clash Royale. Boom. That's the deck, not the... Why didn't anybody tell me? I guess you guys aren't actually here yet. Would have been a perfect video. Would have been a perfect video. 3 games, 3 wins, and just... magnifique. I guess we also got the Royal Ghost, so that kind of sucked.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
That wasn't the best. It could have been a little bit better. Imagine if we got the Night Witch. That's part of the reason why I want to get the Night Witch, is because the Night Witch combos really, really well with Golem. And if you have the Night Witch, throw it in these decks, swap it in. I'm jumping the gun again. We will talk more about the legendaries, what cards you swap in and swap out for your legendary cards very, very soon. But for right now, all we got to do is just win this game. Really, really good arrows. Oh, shoot. Did I just choke? Really, really good timed arrows. He got a lot of damage there. It's not going to be enough. This is another situation where you just go Golem at the back. Let's support it. I like supporting it usually with the Witch and the Prince. Those are my 2 favorite. Here, it doesn't look like we're going to have to use the Lightning at all in this matchup. But let's say if our opponent had the Witch, the Musketeer, the Wizards, that's when you can go in with your... That's when you can go in with your Lightning, get a lot of value, and a lot of times... Do we go for another Golem? Do we go for 2 Golems here? He can't stop 2. He can't even stop 1 Golem! Turbo, why are you going in on the left if you can't even deal with... This is GG's in the chat. Like I said already, for this deck, really good to combo the Tornado with your Golem. You can pull units in and the death damage pops, and this is GG. It sucks because I really wanted to get the 3 crowns there. I really wanted to get the 3 crowns. But this deck, definitely give it a try. This is my favorite deck. This is the Squirrel deck. This is the deck I use for the majority of getting to where I am right now. And I think that's the last game we needed to get to. There it is. We did it. Legendary Arena, and we didn't lose a game. So Trophy Road, Arena 10, 11, 12. Which cards should you pick on your road? Well, you get to choose between the Elite Barbarians and the Firecracker. Choose the Elite Barbarians. They're really good. Next is the Cannon Card and the Rage. Both of these are good. The Cannon Card used to be really, really good. The Rage, you can use it in some very interesting decks. Both of these are fine. Maybe the Rage. If you have to choose between the Elixir Golem and the Zappies, I'll probably choose Zappies. Zappies are one of my favorite cards. I use it in my main deck, and I really, 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 really like the cards. I think they're low-key one of the strongest cards in Clash Royale. On defense, not on offense. And then if you have to choose between the Electro Dragon and Clone, either of them are good. They're both used in very niche decks. The Electro Dragon isn't in the best spot right now, and the Clone, you can do some crazy decks with the Clone. So maybe pick Clone for the memes. And for Goblin Cage and Battle Healer, I would definitely pick the Goblin Cage. The Goblin Cage is one of the best building things in Clash Royale right now, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Looking at the Executioner and the Mirror, definitely pick the Executioner. The Mirror it's a card that it's kind of gimmicky in Clash Royale, and it's never really been in any top tier decks. It's a really hard card to use in Clash Royale. There are some decks that utilize it, but they're not that good. Now for the legendary cards. If you have the Inferno Dragon, I would swap the Inferno Dragon in for either the Baby Dragon, or you can also swap it in for the Goblin Hut in the bait deck. If you have the Ram Rider, well, you can swap the Ram Rider in for the Hog Rider, or you can swap it in for the Balloon. For the Golem deck, the Ram Rider doesn't really fit too well. If you have the Lava Hound, I have to apologize still. The Lava Hound doesn't fit in any of these decks.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get it.
If you have the Mega Knight, you can swap the Mega Knight in for the Giant Skeleton, or you can swap it in for the P.E.K.K.A. The Mega Knight doesn't really fit in this Golem deck. If you have the Graveyard, you can swap the Graveyard in for the Balloon or the Goblin Barrel, and again, it doesn't really fit too well in this Golem deck. If you have the Mother Witch, you can swap the Mother Witch in for the Witch, the Bomber, the Baby Dragon, and the Wizard. I would probably get rid of whatever one's lowest level. If you have the Night Witch, you can swap the Night Witch in for the Prince, the Bomber, the Skeleton Army, the Goblin Hut, or even the Valkyrie. If you have the Ewiz, you can swap it in for the Wizard. You can swap it in for the Baby Dragon. You can swap it in for the Witch. You can swap it in for the Bomber. You can basically swap it in for any range unit. If you get the Lumberjack, well, you can swap the Lumberjack in for either the Valkyrie. You can swap it in for the Prince. You can swap it in for the Skeleton Army. You know what? You can even swap it in for the Bomber. Probably use the Lumberjack. If you have the Fisherman, I would swap the Fisherman in for the Prince, the Skeleton Army, and also you can actually swap it in for the Tornado. I wouldn't really use Tornado and Fisherman in the same deck, so if you're using one of these decks, they all kind of have Tornado, which I just noticed now. Use the Fisherman instead. If you got the Bandit, well, the Bandit can be swapped in for the Skeleton Army, the Bomber, the Prince, pretty much any unit on the ground. Just throw in the Bandit, and the Bandit's pretty good. If you have the Miner, you can swap the Miner in for maybe the Tornado, Zap, or Valkyrie in that P.E.K.K.A. Balloon deck, or you can't really fit it in the Golem deck, but you could try using it maybe in the Goblin Barrel deck instead of the Goblin Barrel. If you got the Ice Wizard, you can swap it in for the Bomber, you can swap it in for the Witch, you can swap it in for the Wizard, you can swap it in for the Baby Dragon. All these work. If you get the Princess, you can swap it in for the Baby Dragon. You can swap it for the Bomber. You could swap it for the Witch. I don't know. The Witch is such a good card, though, so probably either the Bomber or the Baby Dragon. If you get the Magic Archer like I did... Well, if you get the Magic Archer, you can swap it in for the Witch. You can swap it in for the Wizard. You can swap it in for the Baby Dragon. You can swap it in for the Bomber. You can swap it in for pretty much any ranged unit in any of these two decks. Even the Goblin Hut, too. If you unlock the Log, well, you can swap it in for either the Bomber, or you can swap it in for the Zap in the P.E.K.K.A. Balloon deck. And if you lock the Royal Ghost, you can swap it in for the Skeleton Army. You can swap it in for the Prince. You can swap it in for the Bomber. You can swap it in for the Valkyrie. You can that's pretty much it. Oh, I wish you were the Night Witch.
Why? Why?
These are the 3 best decks for Arena 10, 11, and 12. But I think these decks could work earlier, and I can think these decks work into going into Arena 13, Legendary Arena. Is that what it's called? Up next, we're gonna make the best decks for a Legendary Arena. So if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so you don't miss that video. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you're gonna enjoy this video. It's one of my new video, and I'll see you guys in that video. Deuces. Bada boom boom bam bam bada bada boom bam 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 bada 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 bada